So if you could just tell me, first of all, your name and where you were born.
My name is, my German name is Michael Koliska. You pronounce it Michael Koliska. It's basically the same spelling. And I'm born in Germany, a city called Magdeburg, a state called Saxony-Anhalt or Sachsen-Anhalt, call it, formerly East Germany.
Okay.
The GDR.
All right. So you're born in East Germany.
Yes.
Do you have any stories about where you grew up?
You mean about the city, or?
Sure. You lived in a city.
Yes. Magdeburg is a city. It's right now it's the capital city of the state of Saxony-Anhalt, and it used to be always. It's not like a huge city. It's 300,000 people. It used to be 300,000.
Okay.
Now it's like 220. But for the sake of how it feels way more metropolitan than many American cities with this kind of population.
Mm-hmm.
So because it's way more densely populated, doesn't have like a suburban area or anything like that.
Right.
So very little of it, let's say like that. And I don't know, what do you would like to know about my childhood? I don't know. Ask me something more specific.
Something, I guess, say in high school. I don't know how the education system works over there, but that age, maybe 18, 17, what would you do on a typical night out or for fun?
For fun when I was like 17, 18?
Yeah.
I just remember, it's kind of some time back.
Yeah.
What did I do? What 17, 18-year-olds do. In Germany, we didn't have limitations in terms of going out to drink, so we went out kind of to clubs very often, so on the weekends, and we also got drunk very often at that age.
Mm-hmm.
We started kind of meeting up in the afternoon and then, hang out, had a couple of beers maybe, and we went to a club and stayed there till maybe midnight. And then danced around and stuff like this. What people do here when they're 21 or later, older, what we did with 16, 17, 18.
How do you feel about our drinking age? Do you think that it's a relevant issue? I know there are people that are pushing for it to be lowered coming from Germany. Did you see any problem with it being lowered?
No, I mean, I personally think it makes more sense to lower the drinking age when people start kind of experimenting with these things, and they will do eventually anyway.
Right.
Maybe better if they still live at home than when they go to college and have no supervision, or at least not the same supervision.
Right.
Parents, I think, maybe be better around, to have around when you deal with stuff like this.
Mm-hmm.
But I think, in the United States, it's kind of, it's a funny issue in a way. Because in one way, they're very liberal in terms of, you can pursue your own dreams and can do things and can say crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes down to these sorts of things, like drinking age is 21.
Right.
But then again, now during the last election, Washington and Colorado voted for the legalization of marijuana. So you could kind of, and this just for, not for medical use, but for, for fun, basically.
Yeah.
So recreational use, so to say, as they kind of describe it. So you have, on the one hand, drinking age of 21, but on the other hand, the recreational use of marijuana. So the scope of the discussion is quite wide. And so, I think it also has something to do with the fact that kids in the States learn to drive way earlier.
Mm-hmm.
With 16 and stuff like this.
Right.
In Germany, usually they start. You only can start getting your driver's license when you're 18.
Right.
It has also something to do with the fact that we have a way better public transport system, so we don't need necessarily cars to get around.
Yeah.
And the country is also way smaller, so
right.
It's a different problem altogether. So you cannot really compare it. If you live somewhere in the Midwest in some smaller place and you want to get from point A to point B. You need a car. There's no way around it, and because there's just a handful of people living in one little place, and you want to go to another handful of people, they're not going to start all of a sudden a train line or a bus route. So,
right. Or comparing the two countries, what specifically brought you to America?
What brought me to the States? I mean, this is the second time I'm here in the States. First time around, I came in 2006. Did my master's degree at the University of Illinois. And more or less personal reasons, So I combined with educational reasons, basically. First time I did my master's, now I'm doing my PhD.
Mm-hmm.
I was in China in between, now I'm back here.
Cool. All right, well, Well, I appreciate you taking the time to talk to me.
No problem.
Cool. Thank you so
Okay.
much.